I got 4 quadrants. Hopefully you know what the 4 quadrants are, where 1, 2, 3, and 4 are. I got 0 degrees over here. Then I go by 90s. 90 degrees up here, 180 degrees here, and 270 down here. And then I'm back to the beginning where I end up at 360. Let's say I have an angle of 225 degrees I ask you guys to graph. What quadrant would 225 fall into? What quadrant is that going to fall into? Here we go. Did we get anything from this video? Let's find out real quick. There we go. There we go. Right away. Bassett, you on here? He is. Nope, never mind. Bassett's not on today. All right, somebody else. 9. Here we go. Who are we looking at here? Hunter. What quadrant is 225 going to fall in?
3.
Quadrant 3. All right, quadrant 3. So first thing I graph is this side of the angle, always on the x-axis. It's called my initial side. The other side is whatever quadrant the angle's in. Hunter told us 225's in quadrant 3. That is where the other side, called the terminal side, is going to end up. Now, I'm not looking for you guys to be exact, but you should be in the darn ballpark. All right? What do I mean by be in the ballpark? 225. Is it going to be closer to 180 or closer to 270? That's what you guys got to figure out. And in this case, it's actually halfway in between. So darn it, put that thing halfway in between. All right? If it's closer to 180, it should be clearly closer to 180. Last thing I need, because take a look. You guys, I formed 2 angles up here. This one and this one. You got to tell me what direction you're going. Anybody remember positive is counterclockwise. So I should see one of these bad boys on there. Yep. All good. All right, well, I could also have negative angles. 0. Now I go clockwise. -9. Settle down. I'll do the teaching. -90. So -180. -270. And I do it that way. And then which way is your arrow going? Clockwise. All good. Last thing. What happens if you have a huge angle? 560 degrees. What do you do to make that thing smaller? Kian.
You can simplify it.
How?
Subtracting 360.
Keep subtracting 360 until you get a number below 360. What about if I get a huge negative number? Negative 580 degrees. What do I want to do now? Keep adding 360 till you get it smaller. Are we okay there? Any questions you want to ask on those concepts? Because you're still going to use them today. Anything at all? We good? All right, let's get right into it so you have enough time to try out the Delta Math stuff. Today, I'm going to talk about what's called a reference angle. Reference. I'm not going to read the darn definition. I'm not going to show you anything on this fancy diagram. I want to get after it right now. So everyone go to question 1A. I want to introduce everybody to your second Greek symbol of the year. Anybody remember what the first Greek symbol was from last unit? Sigma, yep. This is called beta. All right, looks like a B, beta. It's in the Greek alphabet somewhere. I don't know where. All right, beta. Don't let it freak you out. It's a variable. I could have said x equals 160, y equals 160. It's just a variable. Don't let it freak you out. So I got an angle of 160. Can you guys right now please graph that angle on an XY axis for me? You should have plenty of practice with this. Okay, so take your XY, make yourself a little ghetto graph here. All right, 160. What quadrant? Here we go. Now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. What quadrant should I be lurking in? What's up, Colin?
Not much.
160. What quad?
The second.
Yeah, thank you. Second quadrant. And this is exactly what I was just talking about, being in the ballpark. Should it be closer to the 90 or to the 180 in quadrant 2?
The 180.
The 180, darn right. So make it closer to the 180. Put your arrow on to make sure I'm going this way, 160. All right, here we go. The reference angle is formed by your terminal side and the x-axis. So let me take my highlighter right now and show you where the reference angle is in a nice shade of pink. The reference angle for any angle is formed by the terminal side and the x-axis. Everybody see that angle right there that I'm shading in? That is referred to as the reference angle for any angle. So here you go. That is called the reference angle. You're responsible to help me find it. What is it? How many degrees on that reference angle? Based on everything you know right now. You know, that's 90. You know, that's 180. How can I find that little sucker right there? Any thoughts here on how I can find it? Because I don't want to call on somebody because then it's like, How can I find it? Katie, go ahead.
You would subtract the number, like the 160.
Okay, so okay, hold on. This angle's 160. Go ahead, keep talking.
From the closest to
Which is what here?
180.
So this is 180.
Yeah.
Take the 2 and subtract them. You'll get what's left over, which is my reference angle. So here's how we're going to write that. Beta. You get to draw your own Greek symbol there. Beta. And I'm going to put a little r as the subscript to mean reference angle. So if I see the r there, I'm talking about the reference angle. And Katie just said take 180 minus 160, and you'll end up with 20 degrees. There's my reference angle. How about that, you kids at home, huh? Nice. Okay, before I move on, facts about a reference angle. Facts. Number 1, always positive. Reference angle, always positive. Fact number 2, always less than 90. So if you don't get an angle that is not positive or less than or not less or greater than 180, how about that? We're doing something wrong. Reference angles are always positive and less than 90. 1 does not make you great. 300 degrees. Go ahead, kids. 300. Graph it first. $300. As you're graphing it, could you please tell me what quadrant we should be in? 15. Here we go. Katie, what quadrant? 300.
The
Fourth quadrant. And think to yourself, everyone, is 300, is that going to be closer to 270 or 360? I believe it's closer to 270, so make your terminal side closer to 270. Boom. Okay, where's our reference angle now? Ready? Again, keep thinking. Terminal side, x-axis, not the y, the x-axis. Right there. Terminal side, x-axis. How are you going to find that angle now? Yeah, buddy. Here you go. Here's your mountain highlighter. Here's your reference angle. Thoughts on what numbers I could play around with to find that angle measure? You guys can do this. You're more than capable. Anybody at home can take it too. It's up to you guys. How can I find that angle? What numbers do I have to play around with now? How can I find that remaining part?
Would you subtract 360 from 300?
Darn right you would, Al. Good job. Great job. I got 360 here, right, guys? So I could take 360 minus the angle I just graphed, 300. Yes, good job. And the reference angle ends up being positive and less than 90. Every time. Positive, less than 90. Ooh, this next one trips kids up all the time. It's sad. 210. 210, everybody. What quad should I be in for 210? Third quadrant, yeah.
Oh.
It's all right, Caroline. I'm just going to throw punch you soon. It's all right. No big deal.
I deserve it.
Okay. It's all right. You'll recover pretty quick. 210. Okay, answer this then. Closer to 180 or 270?
180.
180, good. Those specs get fogged up or what?
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
I ran out of contacts like 2 weeks ago.
You need a defroster on that thing.
I have to get the nerd wax. Apparently that works.
Please don't. All right, everybody got 210. Okay, where's the reference angle? Because this is what kids always get confused. This is what I'll get. Oh, there you go. There's your reference angle. Terminal side and what axis?
X.
X. Don't highlight the Y then. Hey, terminal side, X axis. All right, X axis. All right, what numbers do I have to play around with now to get that little angle right in there? Come on. I know someone's going to say the number and I'm going to flip out, but what numbers do you think I have to play around with here now? Look, how can I get to that angle? Remember, the full angle was 210. Any thoughts? Let's go. Open it up here. Open it up. I don't feel comfortable calling on people, especially if you don't know what's going on. I want to take this. Katie, go ahead. What do you think?
Would it be 2 or 270?
See, she's using that number. Here's why. We're never using 270.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's why. What axis is 270 on? The Y. Don't use 270 or never use what's on top here. 90, ever. That's always on the Y. So go ahead, keep going. You know 270 can't be used. What's that? 210 minus 180. There you go. Thank you for making that mistake with the 270. Your classmates will remember it now. So this ends up being 30 degrees. Less than 90. Yep. Positive. Yep. Oh, you guys think you're great now, huh? You think you're hot stuff? Okay, let's try out part D then. All right, let's see where you're at now. '78. What quadrant? Oh boy, not here today. I'm missing it. Dan, here we go. What quadrant am I in?
You would be in quadrant. It'd be on first quadrant.
Yep. All right, you ready? I'm getting some of the looks already, though. Where's my reference angle? Ready? Terminal side and what axis?
X.
And don't go this way because you know your angle's got to be less than 90. Terminal side and... Want to tell me something?
78.
It's the same angle. If an angle's in quadrant 1, it's its own reference angle. Okay? Everyone see that. Don't use 90. Remember, we're never using 90. That's on the y-axis. It's formed with the x-axis. How about that? So if an angle's in the first quadrant, it's its own reference angle. Okay, anything you want to ask? Because I'm just going to throw a couple different things at you now. Everyone okay? Depending on what quadrant the angle's in, how to find the reference angle. We're all right? Okay, how am I going to change it up on you now? Take a look. Now it's negative. And all you guys usually think alike. My period 2 class, they didn't like negative angles. They always like positive angles. Is that where we're coming from? That we'd rather deal with a positive angle instead? Okay, how do I make it positive from yesterday? How do I make negative 110 positive? Add 360 to it. Go ahead. So instead of dealing with negative 110, deal with what instead? 250, yep. The only thing you got to worry about is when you graph it, make sure the arrow's going in the other direction. So where is 250, by the way? Let's call that out. Quad, we're in what quad? 14. Here we go. Eliana, what quadrant we asking? 250. 3, yep. Closer to 180 or 270? Yeah. Again, this is what I was just talking about, guys. When you graph it, I know we're graphing 250 just to get an idea of what quadrant it's in, but it's still negative 110. So it's still right there. All right, ready? Reference angle. Everyone's, you gotta make sure, do you know where it is? Do you see the reference angle? Terminal and
One to the left.
x-axis, good. So how can I find that angle? And you can still use the 250. That's fine. Don't feel like you gotta use negative 110. We can use 250. All right, this is our second time through right now, our second time through. So I'm just going to start calling on somebody here. How can I use these numbers here? The 250 and another number up there. Play around with them. What do you want to do? Oh boy. Oh, here we go. Sophia, how can I get this reference angle right there?
180 minus.
Well, it's going to be involving 180, definitely, because there's 180. How do I want to use the 180? And remember, the angle going in the positive direction was 250. Right? I think you're looking at this arrow, and it might be remember too. Hey, look, I don't want to add on more arrows, but from here to here was 250, right? So what can I do with my numbers?
So 250 minus
250, yep, minus 180. Everyone see where Sophia's getting that from? Okay. Again, I would not touch that negative number. Okay, other than to graph it. What are we looking at there? 70? Yep. Again, guys, no negative angles, nothing bigger than 90. You guys all right so far? Okay, we only got a couple more. We're done. Quick today. Negative 280. Go ahead, add 360 to it because I know you like positive angles. Ooh, what are we looking at there? 80? Ooh, oh, all right. 80 degrees. What quadrant am I in? Just want to make sure we're all up to date. Sophia, back to you. What quad? 80. 1, yep, closer to 90. All right, we already talked earlier. I'm in quadrant 1. What should my reference angle be then? Katie?
it would be 80.
If an angle's in quadrant 1, it's its own reference angle. Go ahead, Kia.
You have two answers for this one.
What would be your other
If you were
answer?
to leave it the same,
What do you mean?
like if you were to leave it as negative 280.
What do you mean by leave it? Oh,
you
negative.
always have to add like 360.
Remember, my reference angle's always got to be positive,
Oh.
and it's got to be less than 90, so I couldn't leave it as negative 280
Yeah.
because that's going against both rules.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
You good? Oh, and I should, oh, never mind. Not yet. There you go. Sorry. I forgot my rotation arrow. One job. All right, 605. Whoa, big boy. Katie. Caroline, go ahead.
And E,
Yep,
the gray arrow,
it's 250.
Is that necessary?
No, I was just showing Sophia that it was 250.
Okay, so we just need the pink.
Yeah. The original angle was negative 110, and it's going clockwise because remember, negative angles go clockwise.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
605, going to make it smaller. Minus 360. Go ahead. What's 605 minus 360? Ooh, I like that one. 255? 45. Calm down back there. Let's try that again. 245. All right, what quad you in? We're getting there. 6. What quad are you in, Mason?
We're in the third.
Third we are. Yep. Ooh, 245. That's closer to 270. Ooh, hey, be careful. Anybody remember from the video how my rotation arrow should look here? Because remember, my original angle was 605, not 245. A little pinwheel action, right? Yeah, we love this. Old school. Stop. So 360. Yeah. With sound effects for you. There you go, 605. Okay, reference angle. Again, don't use 605 when you play around with the numbers. Use 245. It'll help you out much better. All right, what's your goal? How do you want to find the reference angle here? What numbers are you going to use, and what are you going to do with them? It's finally my time.
245 minus 180.
I'm so glad you got that right, because if you got it wrong, your time to shine, I would have been all over that.
I'm always shining.
Oh, we love having you in here, Caroline. 2065.
Yeah.
Thank you. One more.
Mhm.
Negative 410. Make it positive first. Oh, I have no idea. Oh, boy. 50? Negative 50? Not good enough, right? Not good enough. Add 360 again. 310. There we go. So what quadrant should I be in here? 310. I know we're running out of steam. I got to pick it up myself here.
4.
Oh, geez. There we go. 4. Good job. 310 would be closer to 360. How's this rotation arrow going to go? Negative 410.
So clockwise.
Clockwise,
From there.
there's negative 360 and a little extra there for you.
And that's just because it's bigger than 360.
Correct. So I get a little pinwheel action. All right, how about that reference angle? You know it's 310. What do you got now? Numbers you're going to move around here. Oh, boy. Ella, going home now. Ella, what numbers do you want to use to find this reference angle?
Would we use 360 and 310?
Yep, and do what?
Subtract.
You got it. And just keep in mind, guys, you got to get a number that's positive and less than 90. We okay finding your own reference angle no matter what degree I give you now? Okay, final thing I need to do before I let you loose. A vocabulary term. Ooh, anybody want to try to pronounce that? Quadrantal. Yes. Use that at home or at the lunch table later, huh? Or at your desk, lunch desk. That's sad, huh? Quadrantal angle. That's an angle that lands on the axes. Lands here, lands here, lands here, lands here. An angle that lands on one of those we call a quadrantal. So here you go. I'm going to need 8 people here to help me out. You got to give me a degree measure that would be considered quadrantal, but somebody eventually is going to have to give me 2 that are negative. All right, start this off. 1 degree measure that would be considered quadrantal. Woo, here we go. Kian, start us off.
90.
90. First one's always the toughest. There you go. 90 would work as a quadrantal angle. Now your classmates are picking this up, and we can fly. 2. Oh, here he is. Isaiah.
180.
180. Yeah. There you go. You should, by the way, can we just, if you don't mind, Isaiah, how about that guy's fresh cut, huh? Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask you a question about the fresh cut real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Is it professional or homegrown?
Home.
Home. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You do it yourself or somebody at home?
Somebody at my house.
Okay. Now my follow-up question would be, how much say do you get in it? Or do they just get the clippers and go, I'm doing it my way? Or do you have a say in how it's going to look?
Well, my mom, she already knows how. So she knows how I like it. So she always
Okay.
tells me.
Okay. I like it. What blade we get on the side there? Is that a 1, a 0?
Yeah, one.
It's a 1. And what about on top? Clippers or scissors or?
Clipper. It's a little shorter than I like, but it's whatever. I can't argue with it.
So scissors on the top or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, bud. Looks good.
Yeah, no problem.
Good. All right, next up. See, we just don't have to talk about math. Talk about fresh cuts. Here we go. Nick! Give me another one.
270.
270. All right, let's go. This is all a whole bunch of fun. Here we go. 13. Here we go, Sophia. 360. All right. All the core 4 are done. I need still 4 more, and 2 of them have to be negative if anybody wants to take the negative one. Oh, going back. Nick, go. Actually, I said 8 different people. Let's go. Sophia. Key in. I'm going to keep doing this. It could annoy you. I don't care. Sophia, there we go. Don't care. 9. There we go. Hunter, give me another one.
What do we have? 360.
Oh, we got 360.
Yeah, 450.
Whoa! Big timer here. Add in another 90. What do I have there? 5? Oh, here we go. Donovan, another one.
Can you do 0?
We could do 0. Yep, that's on the line. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No more positive ones. They got to be negative now. You guys that are left, sorry. Your classmates left you floating. Caroline.
-90.
Oh, negative 90. Good job. And one more, please. Let's do this. 12. Dan, finish with the negative one.
Negative 180.
There you go. Okay, everyone good? Okay, you're hopping on Delta Math right now. Answering as many questions as I asked until you get them right. And then we're good. Let's figure out where we got to put the code in there, too.